Hey everybody, welcome back to another Christmas video. This is going to be from a red heart pattern. It is Holiday Flowers and the pattern number is LW2285. There are two patterns on this pattern. There is one for a Christmas rose and one for a poinsettia, which we are doing. Okay, we're not doing the rose, we're doing the poinsettia. Okay, so basically you can use the Red Heart Holiday yarn for this, but what I have done, because I've ran out of Red Heart Holiday, I'm just using the basic Red Heart Love yarn here, and just basic green for the berries that go in the center. So this is two-piece. You'll do the flower, then you'll do the berries. It calls for a 5mm hook. I'm just going to use, or it calls for a 5mm, sorry. I'm going to use a 5mm using my pink ivory hook that my husband made. You want to find out more about the exotic hooks that we make, you can visit me on my Facebook, and I also have the link to my page where we show a lot of our hooks. It's in the description box below the video. So basically you'll need green slash silver or white silver, it's whatever you want to use, and then your holiday red. So I'm using basic green, and I'm going to do the Red Heart Love because I don't have any more of the Red Heart Holiday. Okay, so basically what you're going to do is pull this pattern up, and we are going to get started with this beautiful flower. So according to the pattern, it says it measures about 7 inches across, and that's if you're using a 5mm hook. And it's going to be a little bit smaller if you change your hook size, or a little bit bigger if you also change your hook size to go up a size. So that's up to you. The size is totally, your prerogative, so it's not crucial to me in teaching the tutorial. So I'm just using the H. So I'm going to put that aside. And I'm going to grab my yarn, and then what we're going to do here is we are just going to start our video here. We are going to start with a slip knot. And let me come down a bit so you can see. Alright, so the first thing that we want to do here is to chain up 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and then you're just going to join, and what you want to do for round 1 is chain up 1, and you're going to do 8 single crochet into the center of your ring. Okay, so let's do 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now you want to pull your tail so you can close that circle. You don't want a big old gap in the center of that, but it's not going to make a whole lot of difference if there's a small one, because we are going to put the berries there. Alright, so now what you want to do is when you're joining here, you're only going to join into the front loop of that beginning chain. So go right into the front loop, not both loops, just the front loop, and do a slip stitch. Alright, so that is going to be round 1. Round 2, you're going to do a chain 8, and do them loosely, okay? Because you're going to be working in all of these chains all the way around this flower to make your petals. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So round 2 says that we want to go into the second chain from our hook and do a slip stitch. So it's a little tricky. Just hang on to the tip of it and slip stitch through, and that's just going to kind of give us the point right here on the tip. Alright, and now what you want to do is single crochet in the next chain. okay? And then you're going to do a half double crochet in the next one. And then you will do a double crochet into the next 4 chains. So here's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and that'll take you to that very last one right here. Alright, once we've done that, you're going to slip stitch into the same front loop. So the same front loop that you're already in, which is right here, you're just going to do another slip stitch, and that's going to attach that petal right to where we began. So now what you're going to do is you're going to slip stitch into the next front loop only of the next chain. So slip stitch, and then what you're going to do is do just what we did. Chain 8. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, and in the second chain from the hook is where you want to do your slip stitch, and that's just going to give it the point. In the next chain you want to do a single crochet. The next one down is a half double, and then the last 4 you get double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Brings you back to the bottom. Now you want to go right back into that chain, or into that, not necessarily chain, but the front loop of that stitch that you started in. Do a slip stitch, and you attach that to that front loop that we started in. So now go into the next front loop only of the next stitch on your circle and do a slip stitch. And then you're just going to do this all the way around, and you're going to end up with 8 petals. So I'll show you one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay? So you have 8. So the first or the second chain from the hook, you'll do a slip stitch. The next one gets a single crochet. The next one gets a half double crochet. And then the next 4 are all double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then you're just going to slip into that same front loop that we were working in, and then you're going to slip into the front loop of the next chain, or next single crochet, sorry. And then you're just going to keep going around, and you want to have a total of 8 petals. And once you have gotten to the 8th petal, I will meet you back up and I will show you how to join, and we will start round 3. So do 8 petals. Alright guys, we are back. I have done my 8th petal. So now what you're going to do now is you're going to jump over, and you are going to start round 3. You're going to slip stitch in the back loop of the first single crochet. So the first single crochet is right here. Okay, so you're just going to slip stitch into the back of that, just like this. Okay, so you've joined this up, and you'll have 8 petals. So now what you're going to do is for round 3, you are going to now do a chain 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So now we're working the back petals. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is slip stitch in the second chain from the hook, just like we were doing. you're going to single crochet in the next chain, half double crochet in the next, alright, and then you're going to double crochet in the next 2, so 1 and 2, okay, and now what you're going to do is triple crochet in the next 3, so yarn over 2 times, and you're going to do a triple crochet in the next 3 chains. That's 1, this is 2, then this is 3. Okay, and now you're going to double crochet into the last 2. So 1 and 2. Alright, so this is going to be your first back petal. So now what you're going to do at this point, you're going to slip stitch in the same back loop. So right here, like we did on the first round, you're just going to slip stitch. And now you're going to slip stitch. You're going to flip this over a second, and what you're going to be doing, I know they're kind of hard to see. See if I can bring it up here to the camera a bit and fold it for you so you can see. If you fold it kind of down, you can see these loops here that are sticking up. These loops right here, you can kind of see them around in a circle. Those are your back loops. That's where you're going to be working these. And I just find it easier to fold my petals down, and then I'm able to actually find my stitches, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, okay? So my next one is going to be right here. So I'm just going to slip stitch and then chain 11. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Now we're going to do this again. You want to slip stitch in the first, single crochet in the next, half double in the next, and then you're going to do a double crochet in the next 2. There's 1 and 2, and then you're going to start your 3 triples. So 1, wrap twice, there's 2, and then the last of your triples goes right there. And then the last 2 stitches, you'll do a double crochet, 1 in each. Okay. And then you're just going to slip stitch right into that same back loop that you're working out of. And then you'll move right on to that next back loop, which is right beside it. So you'll slip stitch, then you'll chain up 11 again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Okay? So what you're going to do, and yes, it's going to flower up on you real tight or buckle up on you real tight, but in the pattern, if you're following along, it does show and tell a way to fix that at the end of the tutorial. But that's another tutorial. You can read that at the end once you're done with your flower. So anyway, if you see here, these bigger petals are going to straddle the smaller ones. Okay, so you're going to go ahead and finish these larger petals, and I'm going to meet you back at the last petal, and I'll show you how to join up, and we'll finish this off, and then we'll do our berries. Be right back with you. Okay everybody, I have done my 8 flowers. So now what you are going to do is just to join up there in the beginning where we started off, and you are going to cut your yarn at this point. and we are going to just pull that through and make that secure. You can cut that tail off that we were starting with, and then you can just weave in your end here. See where I want it to go to stay in nicely, and I will probably redo this after the video, which is what I usually do with my ends. That way I can make sure that they stay in. But I usually just do it on video to get them out of the way, and then I'll redo them. Okay, and yes, like I say, it kind of buckles up on you. And what I did is I actually laid mine underneath my computer where it gets nice and warm, and I flattened mine out that way. So, but there's instructions on here as to how to take care of getting it flattened out, and you can do that on your own, but I'm not going to do that on tutorial. I'm just doing the flower for you. Alright, so I'm going to set this aside. So now you're going to get your green yarn, or whatever color you choose to work with, and I'm going to do my berries in an H, not an H, but a G hook, and we are going to start off with a chain 4, 2, 3, and a 4. Okay, and then you're going to join in the beginning stitch. You're going to make a circle. So what you're going to do here is you're going to chain up 3, and then you're going to do simply 3 double crochet in the center. And I thought this was a very unique way to make berries. I wouldn't have thought of it this way, but this is very unique. So you want 3 double crochets in the center, well, if I can get my hook into this yarn, we will get somewhere. So now what you're going to do at this point is much like, I believe it's a popcorn stitch. I'm not, you know, I don't work much with it, but I believe it's a popcorn stitch. You take your hook out, pull your loop up, and then what you're going to do is go back over here in your chain 3 and insert your hook into the back of that beginning chain 3. Go into the top of that. Well, let me get into that right stitch there. And then you're going to go and loop that loop back on your hook and pull that through. And then you're going to go slip stitch into the center, just like this. Okay, that's going to give you 1 berry. Now you're going to repeat that 2 more times. So 1, 2, 3, and then into the center again. You're going to do 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, you want to pull that up, come over here, go into your chain, top of the chain 3, grab your yarn, pull it all the way through, and then go into that circle ring for a slip stitch, just like that. And now you do it one more time. 1, 2, and 3, and back into the center, and it's kind of tight, and you want to do 3 double crochet. So there's 2 and 1 more. Okay, pull your loop up, go back over here, insert that into the top, grab that loop and pull it all the way through. And now you're just going to slip stitch, and you're done. You're going to leave a little bit of a tail, and you're just going to pull this one all the way through, pull this tail as tight as you can get it, and you're going to flip that one over. Okay, and then you're going to have the making of your berries. Now what I did is I took this tail and pulled it to the other side. And you can do this either way you want. If you want to sew this on, you can, but all I did was tie mine on. There's not a whole lot of sewing to things like this. What I did is I just put my hook through the center outside edge here, just like this, and grabbed one of these strands, pulled it through. Then I'll go back over here on the other side of the hole, insert my hook, and grab that smaller piece of yarn. And you may want to make that yarn right here a little bit bigger. I didn't make mine quite big enough, but you insert it there and grab that other piece of yarn and pull it through. And then all you really got to do now is just tie that on. You don't have to do a whole lot of sewing to things like this, but it's up to you how you do it. Because usually you're just going to attach this, and this back part is just going to be hid. And then you weave your tails in, all of them. And then these are your little berries. And let me back this up. And then this is your poinsettia. And there's both of them. And that's pretty much all there is to it. And like I said, there are instructions for flattening this out. You can follow those on the pattern here below. It does give you the instructions. Let me see. Let's see. I know I've seen it. Yeah, to flatten it out, place it right side down on a towel, cover with a wet cloth, and tightly press with fingers until petals are flat. Do not iron, allow to dry. So you can do that, but like I said, you can also steam them. I called it steaming. I put it underneath my keyboard on my computer, and it's really warm under there, and it flattened this one, you know, quite nicely. So this is the tutorial for the Red Heart Holiday Poinsettia flower. So I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial, and until my next Christmas tutorial, happy hooking!